Repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. The Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
We are about to go green in your iRacing Midget Association Chili Bowl Nationals night. Prelim number 3 is green flag.
Wide for your lead. Culver's now your leader. Cody right on the bottom.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome out here to Watkins, Glen, out here in the Black Diamond Racing League BDRL. You're just joining us here in qualifying. I'm your host, Goose. I'm the only guy here tonight. You're just going to have to deal with me. Like I said, we're just looking at qualifying here and taking a look at the qualifying sheet here. Isaac Therese, which is not on track right now, is going to be your first car out there, at least in qualifying right now. You're taking a look there at Jay Hone in the number 51 Chili's machine, Ride the Dente. Hone currently sitting in 10th so far during qualifying. Take a look at some other cars out there. Austin Norris in the number 57 being out there. Keith Pittman in the number 2 car. He's in 6th place currently with qualifying, taking an extra lap around here. These drivers getting used to this course here, of course. It being Watkins Glen, we're at a road course tonight. A lot of guys might not have too much experience out here with road courses. We're just going to have to see what goes on tonight. 65 laps here tonight is going to be the length of this race. 160 miles, that is. We're going to have stages at lap 20 and lap 40. These drivers are going to have 4 sets of tires out here tonight, 50% fuel, so it's going to be a fuel mileage game out there. We talked to one of the drivers beforehand. We talked to Jacob Shoffett, and he told us that tonight's race he really thinks is going to come down to the fuel strategy, the fuel mileage, and the fuel game here tonight. 69 degrees out there, 3:30 p.m. sim time for tonight. That is when the green flag will drop. So definitely going to be a fun one out here tonight. We're just going to have to see how much carnage there is out there tonight, if anything. If you guys have tuned in before to previous streams here in the Black Diamond Racing League, you will know that these guys are some of the cleanest bunch of guys out there that I think I've ever broadcasted for. So it's going to be real fun to see them out here tonight. Taking a look at Jay Hone taking his laps around the Glen here. I know I'm definitely excited for this weekend's race to watch the Glen. If you guys have seen NASCAR's little promotional thing, Shane Van Gisberg versus Connor Zilic. Now, Connor Zilic hasn't been doing too good in those Cup cars, but we'll have to see how he does this weekend. Michael Lovelace, one of our fearless members out there in the number 68 machine. We've seen him out there before a few times in other races, seen him on those 1.5 miles and seen him on those speedways. He tends to come in about midway through the race, but we're at our first road course here, so we're definitely going to have to see how that one goes, aside from COTA, of course, this year. So we'll watch Mr. Lovelace take a few laps around there. I'd like to give a good thank you to some of our sponsors, Juicy Spider Designs and Graphics. New stuff is in the works, actually coming tomorrow. I think I might have a new intro for you guys, which should be very, very fun and just really cool. I got a sneak peek of it today, and honestly, it looks so awesome. Also like to give a shout out to Goose's Rattle Can Shop, of course, my business. So if you guys need any paints or graphics done on your cars in iRacing, just let me know. And also Puffy Swag Shop, huge shout out to them. Great custom clothing options, mouse pads. They also got some 3D printing stuff now, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's find a good camera view here. There's not very many good camera views, unfortunately, here as we get through our starting grid. But looking at that starting grid out there, Row 1, we're going to have Isaac Treese and Evan Janik. Row 2, Travis Gilbert and John Talley. Row 3, Rick Myers and Keith Pittman. Row 4, Armads, Juan Trofonics. I always mess that last name up. I'm so sorry. Danny Jackson will also be back there in that 4th row. Jacob Schaffet, P9, back there in the 5th row. And Jay Hone also going to be back there sitting in 10th. So we head on to row 6. Michael Loveless is going to be out there in that number 68 machine. Randy Drumhiller is going to be starting right next to him. Justin Cope in the number 59 Carhartt machine out there. We know him for his Toyotas. He's going to be starting there in row 7 next to Alex Pollock. Row 8, Jason J. Martin and Austin Norris. Row 9, Jim Treat and Dallas Fridley. And row 10, Terrence Preston and Robert R. Matthews. Row 11 is going to consist of Jason Crumley in the number 83 Red Bull Toyota and Adam Propes in the number 88 Chevrolet. Kevin Croft and Nolan Kelly are going to end out in your 12th row here tonight. So definitely interesting grid out there tonight. Isaac Therese, in that number 20 Chevrolet. You see him there on the left side. See that 57 Mustang actually getting a little jumpy back there. That's Mr. Norris back there, Austin Norris. Getting a little jumpy. He's not actually. He's going to pull off the track and have the fall back a little bit there, it looks like. Getting into line. These guys are going to get ready, though. We're going to get started with their warm-up lap. These guys are going to have to get their tires warmed up, scuffed up, get it ready. Definitely do not want to be out here on cold tires. Also, let me know how my audio is sounding down there in the comments. But green flag is going to come out here at Watkins Glen. That number 20 of Isaac Therese gets a good jump off the start. You see them all filtering down this straightaway here in the turn number 1. Now remember, guys, here in the NASCAR Cup Series, these guys are allowed to use all of that track if they want. Therese has a good lead out front right behind Evan Janik in that number 60 Ford Mustang. Is going to be leading it up in the 2nd row. And that number 3 Ford Mustang falling right behind him. That vet to track number 3 Mustang. Take a look back here. We see the number 6 of John Talley going a little bit through the grass. We also see the number 1. That is Rick Myers also through the grass. We also saw a car back here. That's the number 92. Of Alex Pollock. Alex Pollock unfortunately has a little bit of damage there. You see that passenger front tire all stopped up there, and it's just absolutely tearing it up against this concrete here. Suffering a little bit of damage there off the front. I'm wondering what actually happened to Mr. Pollock. We see Mr. Pollock go unfortunately into the grass there. And he is crashed. I'm not too sure he's going to be able to get it. He does get it back out. But unfortunately, Pollock not looking like he's having a fun time so far in lap 1 of the Glen. You see Therese still up in front in the number 60 there. We also see, I heard that Justin Cope has had a little accident. Let's see if we can pick that up here on the replay here. We'll play it back in full speed. Coming down that front straightaway there. That first straightaway in the turn 1. And yep, I was going to mention it before we got underway. These drivers are really going to have to watch those curbs. Those curbs are going to get you. So unfortunately, we have our, maybe not first victim of the curbs, but I do know some of these guys out here, they're running really, really low setups and everything. So these cars are just going to suck down there to the ground. And of course, heavy stock car on a road course, and with these such big bumps, of course the Glen having multiple elevation changes throughout, it's going to make it hard for these drivers. You see the number 3 of Travis Gilbert falling off a little bit, though, still holding on to it. There's Pollock, Alex Pollock in the wall. You see his fender hanging off there. We did see that he had wrecked, and I guess we don't even have to do the replay because we found him. Take a look out there. There's Jacob Schoffit currently sitting in 7th position. And we talked to Schoffit a little bit before the race. A little bit before even, while he was practicing. He was trying out that 10% increase in horsepower and that little bit of a weight reduction. I think taking out about 110 pounds out of the stock car. And he drove it here and said he loved it. He loved having that extra power in there. But this dude has been practicing. I know he spent hours upon hours tonight perfecting his racecraft and his setup here for tonight's race. So hopefully we could see Jacob Schoffit go from 7th all the way up into one of those front-running cars. You see his teammate there and another fearless driver, Michael Loveless, just behind him there in the number 68. Looks like he suffered a little bit of damage there, unfortunately, to the front of that car, the front bumper, unfortunately. Looks like Alex Pollock now has jumped to pits, so Pollock's going to be down in the pits. Also looking at if anyone else has gone down into the pits. I'm not seeing anybody else down there. See the number 51 of Jay Hone there. We talked about him a little bit during qualifying there. He's currently running in 6th, just behind John Talley. John Talley in that number 6 Mustang. We know him. We love him. That Liquid Death orange Mustang. We see him all the time, and he's usually one of those front runners. Well, that exception is not here today. It's a road course, and he's currently sitting in 5th. Only lost 1 position since the start of this race. Taking a look out there, since we didn't get it timed to, temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit out there, 11-mile-an-hour winds out of the northeast, not much humidity. It's a clear day out here at the Glen. See Schoffit coming. Oh, Loveless hard into the wall, loses that front bumper. Well, it was just hanging off there. It actually kind of just, like, disintegrated, I think. So we'll watch Loveless come up there. Right behind him, Myers, Jackson, and Treat. All right behind him. That's Jim Treat in the number 367. I'm not much of a fan, actually, of those 3 numbers. I like the 2 or the 1 number, but that's all right. Funny enough, actually, we look back at Loveless's car. His bumper has reappeared and is back on the car. I'm not too sure why, but that's okay. See Travis Gilbert in that number 3 still making his way up the track. He's been able to hold off all the cars and actually regain a little bit of ground back from those guys behind him. He's slowly catching up there on that number 60. The Mustangs have actually been doing pretty good here today. I know in some of the past few races, whether it be this league or if we've gone off to other leagues and seen some of their results, but those Mustangs really have not been doing too great lately. It's either been a Chevy or a Toyota taking it home. Right now, a Chevrolet does lead this race, but right behind him, 2 Fords, and that Ford of Evan Janik is slowly catching up to that leader. Not making many mistakes out there. Travis Gilbert in the number 3, not far behind either. Going through the S's, these can be hard for some of those drivers. I mean, you can see just how unstable those cars can get and how bouncy they are off of those corners. They're not like some of these other cars. These stock cars, of course, have more weight, stiffer suspensions, and it can make the real difference. Of course, we saw some of the drivers there getting a little bit loose off that corner. If you remember, Cope, unfortunately getting loose off that curb there and doing that lazy spin coming up into turn 1 there. And that'll happen to a lot more of these drivers if they're not careful, especially on colder tires. That's going to make the real difference, is how hot those tires are and how you set your suspension up in this car to be able to handle those corners and those bumps and just the curves. Of course, Watkins Glen, a lot of elevation changes here. And it's a lot different here on iRacing than if you were to go in real life and look. You don't get the same sense as if you were there in real life. Of course, you can kind of see it there on track. It's just all the little bumps, nooks, and crannies. And I was telling some of the drivers here before this race started, to watch out for some of that stuff, because you're not going to realize a lot of those bumps and stuff are there even until you actually hit it and it's too late. Now, these drivers, of course, with it being the NASCAR circuit setup, these guys are allowed to use those track limits. Just looking, Dallas Fridley has had a little bit of an accident. Let's see what happened to Mr. Dallas here. See Fridley up there in the number 34 U.S. Navy through the S's, and a little accident through the S's, and he locks down those brakes and gets it stopped, thankfully, before going into that wall. We also do have another accident on track. I know we just saw that accident. I'm so sorry I clicked off of that. Kevin Croft in the number 121 having a little bit of accident. Of course, that being one of our fearless drivers. You see a little bit of front end damage there, and just a lazy kind of drift, actually. I wouldn't even call that really a crash. Oh, well, there's a crash. Yep. Kind of more of a drift. See Hone there in the number 51. Jay Hone. Travis Gilbert still in third. Evan Janik in second. Still, and Therese still leads this race in the number 20. We're on lap 8 of 65. Stages, of course, being lap 20 and lap 40. Jason Crumley looks like he had a little bit of an accident. Let's take a look here. See Drumhiller in front of him. Crumley there in the number 83 Toyota. And just that curb. That curb has got him. And that curb is getting a lot of drivers here tonight. That's just one of the things about the Glen. We see the number 57 Austin Norris. He's coming out of pits right now. And here comes the Dente, chasing him down. That's Hone. Looks like Crumley had another accident. Let's see what happened here. After he had that little lazy spin due to that, looks like those tires are still heated up there. Unfortunately, just missing the S's. Not an actual, like, crash, I would say. Just getting really, really slowed up there. Try to get her back on track there as those leaders come back around. So again, those corners and everything, the speed difference between some of these cars, a lot of these guys may think that they can push it. You got to be really, really careful. It can be really deceptive sometimes. There's Travis Gilbert in that number 3. Hasn't had an accident. It's been unfortunate for some of these drivers that have been caught back, unfortunately, in some of these. Look at the brakes. You can see there, if you look at those front wheels just near where that one lug is, you can see those brakes heat up. And of course, that's also going to cause a little bit of issues for some of these drivers. Those brakes getting hot, they can stick. It'll be a bad show if they do stick. Look at the 20 absolutely tearing it through the S's there. That's Therese. Not very far behind, though, and slowly gaining ground is Janik. And looks like we might actually have a pretty big one here. Looks like Crumley and Gilbert have an incident. Here's Crumley. I think this is the incident we already saw. Yeah, I think that's the incident we already saw. Sorry. Let's take a look at Travis Gilbert in the number 3. That was your third place driver. Goes through the S's, and unfortunate. Did not lock her down in time and into the wall, and a little bit of damage there to the front of that car. Doesn't look too terrible, though. So hopefully he'll be able to get back into it. And you see there what I've been talking about, those brakes just getting red hot. You got to put so much power down, of course, coming down into that straightaway. You're going to go into that straightaway really, really quick, so definitely got to be a little bit careful when going through there. Therese still leads this race around. Taking a look here right now at laps led. 11 so far out of 11. The top 3 really have not moved too many places. Travis Gilbert back here started in 3rd, still in 3rd. But here comes Jay Hone. Jay Hone's coming up pretty quickly, and he is for position. Not too far behind him, though. John Talley in that number 6 machine, still trying to hunt down that competition. We'll keep looking back through the field here at some of these guys. Rick Myers and Keith Pittman altogether. The number 57, that is Austin Norris. Unfortunately, he's gone a lap down. There's Shoffett and his teammate Loveless. Back to back right now. You see Mr. Croft back there a little bit. There's Kevin Croft. Kevin Croft, unfortunately, a lap down. Here's Danny Jackson in that number 18 machine. We'll pull up their information here. There's Danny Jackson. He's currently 11th out of St. Louis, Missouri. You're not too far from me, Mr. Jackson. That's actually pretty cool. See Alex Polick, unfortunately, still down pit lane since the start of this. Isaac Therese, your leader, has come off of pit lane. As we talked about, that fuel and those tires might be getting to him a little bit there. There's Jim Treat out of Effingham, Illinois. I actually know where Effingham is. And I'm not going to lie, you are not too far from me as a fellow Illinoisan. There's Michael Loveless, currently in 8th position. Shoffett out of Lufkin, Texas, currently sitting in 7th. He's been sitting here and he's been hunting them down. Here's Austin Norris in the number 57 out of Morgantown, Kentucky. And Keith Pittman. Pittman in that number 2 machine, currently sitting in 6th. Rick Myers has been able to keep her going all night out there in that Gravedigger monster truck paint scheme. Bad to the bone. Up in front of him, there's Jason Crumley. Crumley's had a couple of incidents, of course, here tonight. Some incidents with those curbs, just keeping that car down. Thankfully, no damage onto that car. He's been able to get it stopped and back on track each time. Thankfully, not suffering any damage. John Talley up here in 4th now. Still trying to get something going. Jay Hone now in 3rd. Travis Gilbert, of course, having that little bit of damage there on that front of the car. He's been able to keep it out and keep it going. There's Terrence Preston and Dallas Fridley up here. And the number 60 of Evan Janik now leads this race around. So a Ford now leads it. The Ford in 2nd and a Chevy followed by 2 more Fords. That makes up your top 5. Sorry about that if you heard my water. Been kind of dealing with I think a little sore throat. Some kind of cold. We've been having great racing all day, or well, all night here tonight so far. We've only gone 14 laps. We've had a couple of incidents, but mostly everyone has really found their groove now. See Mr. Kevin Croft back here getting his groove on. Going down in the turn number 1. You'll see Jason J. Martin back here in the number 16, currently sitting in 11th position. He's been trying to get her done all night. You can just see some of the speeds that some of these guys are picking up. And take a look at this, 180 down the big straightaway almost. And all the way down to 100 miles an hour. Heading through the S's, being real careful not to touch any of those curbs there. Martin's able to push it a little bit faster through there. Here comes Hermans. A little bit of damage there to the front of that number 69 machine. A lot of these guys have accidentally hit a lot of stuff. Let's take a look at Crumley as he comes through one of the final corners here, coming down the shorter straightaway here. And let's see how much speed he can pick up down this short straightaway, just so you can see a sense of how fast these drivers can go. I saw 152 as the top speed there. We also see the number 119 of Robert R. Matthews. He's coming out of pit lane, coming down onto the track. See Probst here in the number 88. Take a look at his speed coming into the longer straightaway, followed up by Loveless. See, he gets up to there to about 178 miles an hour, and then backs her down and through the S's. A lot of front end damage. Oh, the number 57 accidentally missed that end part of the S there. Gets it back on track. Gotta just slow roll through the corner. Gotta get the weight of that car working with you. And Crumley's going to have a good run on him, unfortunately. With Norris making his car so wide, he's not going to be able to get the pass off on him just yet. These two would be fighting for position, though. Crumley is up 1 position since the start of this race, currently sitting in 20th. See Robert R. Matthews back there trying to get something working up there. And Shoffett down pit lane, currently getting something. We'll take a look and see what he gets. We're on lap 16 of 65, and it's looking like he's going to grab some tires on one side, and he will grab tires on the other side. So 4 tires, probably some fuel. So these guys are already eating up their tires, I believe. See Isaac Therese, your previous leader here, currently in 5th position. He's been fighting his way back up there, and he ain't got too far to go. John Talley up front. Looks like he's going to take pit entrance there. And down pit lane he goes. We also see Travis Gilbert coming down pit lane and Jay Hone there. You also see Loveless back there bringing her down pit lane. And there's Evan Janik, your previous leader here. And Isaac Therese is out in front again. He played the right move there, I believe. He pitted early. Didn't lose too much track position, and now look at him. He's going to have one hell of a run away from those cars. You see Keith Pittman back here in the number 2, just now entering into that corner. See the number 88, Adam Probst there in the Nationwide Junior paint scheme. And there's Evan Janik back here in 4th. Oh, cold tires, my friend, cold tires. Thankfully does not run into the back of Mr. Pittman, and is going to be able to get it through there. Probably going to have the serve that slow down penalty there, of course. And there's Austin Norris. Thankfully not for position for Pittman. Or for Janik, sorry. See Probst up here. There's Pittman in the number 2. Dallas Fridley coming down pit lane. Crumley also down pit lane, and Robert R. Matthews all down pit lane. You see Preston there, Terrence Preston, getting passed up there by Alex Therese. See Justin Cope there in the Carhartt Toyota, also running into a little bit of an issue, because here comes your leader, Drumhiller, also right in front of him. Just look how that 20 is able to send it through the corner, coming up on 2 wheels, and the pressure's on Cope, and he falls victim to it. A lazy spin. Oh no. Thankfully, no damage to that car. He didn't even get close to hitting it. Just a little spin there. Can't get it back on track there. Terrence Preston in the Good Wrench Chevrolet right in front of him. These two have been battling it out for a little bit. They're going to battle it out more now. Thankfully, Cope was able to get that thing shut down there. See that Crumley still down pit lane. I'm wondering if he had an issue. You also see Armad's down pit lane. Wondering if he has an issue either. And there's Drumhiller on the outside of the number 20, coming down the long straightaway here. Drumhiller, of course, not being for position, is going to let that 20 car go through, but it's going to mess his lineup a little bit. Maybe the 20 of Therese not having that preferred line that he usually prefers to there, but either way, he's still able to get through there. Here we come. Lap 19 of 65, coming up to lap 20. And coming up on stage 1. It's been a fun stage 1. Few incidents here and there. A lot of people learning that those cold tires are going to prove a problem with some of these curves. A lot of the guys just getting out there and having a lot of fun with it, but it's proven to be unfortunate for some of them. Big thank you, of course, to some of our sponsors out there: Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Juicy Spider Designs and Graphics, and Puffy Swag Shop. Also, make sure to check out Dutch's Dirty Dozen. And the Fearless Setup Shop. Also, make sure to check out our website, Fearless Enterprises. Circle S Creek. Make sure to check those guys out. Without those guys, and of course, all you lovely folks at home, we would not be where we are. We're growing very, very fast, up to 800 subscribers so far. So again, we appreciate every single one of you. Of course, if you follow us on our media pages, you'll know that we are also currently looking for sponsorships. Small businesses, if you'd like to get your name out there. If you guys know anybody with some small businesses, we're offering some packages for you guys. Get your name out there and support a great cause. Gets real hard to afford some of this stuff sometimes. So let's see here. I'm kind of confused because we are now on lap 21 of 65. Not too sure how we're going to be splitting up stages, but stage 1 should have technically been done by now. So Isaac Therese, there it is. There she is. And the caution is out. And that'll be the end of stage 1. So Isaac Therese takes home stage number 1. Also finishing stage number 1 in his original position that he started the race in. Evan Janik also in second back there. And the number 60 Ford also finishing in the same place that he started in second. And Travis Gilbert in the number 3 Ford. Also finishing in the same place in third. So your top 3 are the original top 3 who started this race. Fun little fact. So when we come back, we're going to be on stage number 2. And that will last until about lap 40. And then these guys are going to have the final laps to just do a little shootout there. Remember, 65 laps here in total. When we come back to you, we'll be going back green flag. Don't go nowhere, folks.
Real quick, people stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
We are about to go green in your iRacing Midget Association Chili Bowl Nationals Night Prelim number 3 is green flag.
3 wide for your lead. Culver's now your leader. Cody right on the bottom.
Welcome back out here, everybody, to the Black Diamond Racing League Cup Series here at the Glen, Watkins Glen, aka the BDRL Cup Series. You didn't miss too much of nothing. These drivers came down pit lane, took some tires, took some fuel, got themselves back out there on track. Taking a look at some of your guys up here. Evan Janik, currently up here in the first position. You see Dallas Fridley back here in the number 34. Unfortunately, he's not on the lead lap. He's currently sitting in 12th. So is Armand's back here in 13th. And then there's Therese, Isaac Therese, your previous leader here. He's sitting in 2nd. You got Robert R. Matthews currently registering in 20th position. Justin Cope currently registering in 14th. And Randy Drumhiller in 15th, also back here. So a lot of these guys a little bit mixed up there. See some more coming down pit road there. That's Fridley, Armands, Matthews. A lot of these guys will actually get back up there. Currently, take a look at your top 5 so far. Evan Janik, Isaac Therese, Jay Hone, John Talley, and Rick Myers. And not that 5th there. It's been one heck of a race. Right now, your leader, Evan Janik, currently first. He has led 8 laps so far. Of course, most going to the guy right behind him. Isaac Therese, that's 16 laps. So it's definitely going to be fun to see how these two battle coming off of the start here. You notice the pace car lights are off. The pace car being the lovely iRacing Porsche. Brought out the fancy ones for this one. Of course, if you're just tuning in, thank you all for tuning in to the Black Diamond Racing League Cup Series here at the Glen. Appreciate every single one of you for coming out and tuning in. Of course, I can see you guys if you type in chat, so don't be afraid to say hi or something. Heck, talk crap about your favorite driver out there. I don't care. Alrighty, these guys are going to get double filed up here as these pace car lights are off. We come around the bend. We're going to get ready to go here. Janik is going to be leading us around in the number 60 Ford Mustang. Isaac Therese right next to him in that number 20 Chevrolet. Let's see how it goes. Of course, you got Mr. John Talley in the number 6 Liquid Death Ford Mustang in that 2nd row back there. And the number 51 of Jay Hone in that Dente's paint scheme there. The Chili's Dente paint scheme on the outside. A lot of these drivers had a little bit of incidents here in the first stage. Let's see how stage number 2 goes. See the pace car dive down. Get ready, get ready. And green flag comes out here for the 2nd time here tonight. See Evan Janik getting a good jump off the start there. Isaac Therese not too far behind him in that number 20. Of course, you see those drivers using all of that available track as they can. John Talley back here fighting alongside Jay Hone. He'll be able to get by, and there goes single file into the long straightaway. See the number 1 of Myers back here a little bit loose there. There's the number 3 of Travis Gilbert, down 3 positions since the start of this race. If you remember, he was running in 3rd for most of that first stage before having that little incident. Looks like during his pit stops, though, he was able to get that car mostly fixed up. There goes Isaac Therese. Still in second, but not very far off of Evan Janik. And here comes Tally actually coming up pretty quick. Oh, Myers absolutely flying into screen there. See Danny Jackson in the number 18 Ford Mustang, that Tier 1 setup shop Ford Mustang. In the Carhartt 59 Toyota of Justin Cope. Looks like something happened with Mr. Jim Treat out on track. Let's take a look and see if we can see what happened there. Well, we can kind of see what happened so far. So we rewind here a little bit. Let's take a look at what happened. Looks like he just got loose. Either loose or he got turned from Mr. Pittman there. Into the wall he goes, through the grass. We'll speed it up here just a little bit because this is taking a little too long for my liking, and I'm pretty sure it's taking a little too long for yours liking too. Unfortunately, yeah, he never recovers after going into that wall. He's done. So that'll be an unfortunate one out there for Mr. Treat. Look, there's Michael Lovelace, one of our fearless members, out on track. He's currently running in 8th. He started in 11th, though. He's up 3 positions since the start of this race. And I guess that can actually lead us into our next segment here. Your biggest movers out there so far today. Jay Hone, up 6 positions. Started in 10th, up to 4th. We also got Jason J. Martin out there, also up 6 positions. Terrence Preston out there, now up 4. Adam Probst up 6. One of your biggest losers out there, unfortunately, of the day. Armand's not on track. Unfortunately, he had a little incident with his car, a little bit more than a little. So unfortunately, he's out of the race, down 14 positions. But I don't think anything's worse than DNF. Maybe a DNS did not start. It's better to always start it, even if you guys fail. Use that as a life lesson there. It is better to do something and to fail at it, because if you never try it, you've already failed. Good life lesson there with the Goose. Looks like Jason Crumley had an incident. Let's see what happened to him. See that 83? He's had a couple of incidents, mainly with the curbs today in those cold tires. Let's see what it was. A little bit of a lazy spin in there, just a little bit too much there and onto the curb. You see the sparks. These cars bottom out when they go over those curbs. That's what makes these curbs so dangerous for these drivers out there. See Therese having almost a incident there. And John Talley is slowly getting down to him. I was going to say the pressure might be on soon, but look at Hone. Hone and Gilbert are going to go at it. Looks like we had another incident. Austin Norris having something happen to him. Let's take a look at what happened. See Norris there in the Mustang, the blue Mustang. Just locked up those brakes, could not get through there. That's pretty normal here at the Glen. And of course, any of these stock cars at road courses, they're not going to be as good, of course, as, you know, an F1 car as such. And you see what using all of that track can do there. See Talley getting passed up by Gilbert. Austin Norris had another accident, actually, and it looks like it was more serious this time. So let's see. You see Shoffett there in the 00 right behind Norris, giving that pressure to him. Passes him up on the inside, and Norris just pulls it over and tows it back to pits. Wow. Not too sure what happened to him, but hopefully we'll be able to see him get back out on track there. Take a look here. There's Kevin Croft in the number 121. Up 4 positions since the start of this race, but not on the lead lap. He's currently sitting in 19th. Let's take a look at that speed as he comes down the shorter straightaway in the turn 1. Just crossing the line there, hitting those brakes hard. You see that front of that nose just absolutely dig down there towards that cement, and he's going to use up all that track there. He's got some guys chasing him down. See Evan Janik here, still your leader since the start. And of course back here you got those lap cars getting passed up there. Isaac Therese in third. We saw Croft have a little bit of an issue locking up the brakes there. The 20 and the 3 go side by side into the S's and get through without a scratch, thankfully. See Jane Hone sitting in fourth. He's getting up there. That's a paint scheme that I actually like. I know I'm not too much of a Chevy fan. You guys hear me talk so much stuff about those Chevys, but you gotta love Hocevar. Danny Jackson in that 18 car in 17th. Not 17th, 7th. I'm so sorry. He's making his way up that field slowly but surely. And Loveless, fearless driver back there, making his way up there. Loveless currently sitting in 8th. Chaffet's in 10th. If you remember, he was in 7th before the pits. Unfortunately losing some positions, so Chaffet not too far behind. A little bit of a blink there from Loveless as his internet goes a little bit awry. Thankfully he's able to keep it in there though. Croft making his way up through there, and then there's John Talley. That Liquid Death number 6 Mustang we've been talking about. Braking hard, going through the S's. He doesn't hit those S's and those curbs as hard as we've seen some of these other drivers out there. The number 20 of Isaac Therese. We'll stay on board with him for a little bit. I want you to watch this wild man take these curbs. I don't know how he does it. Coming down that front straightaway, that's where these guys get a lot of speed coming down there. 164 miles an hour, and then hard into the brakes. That's how these guys burn up those tires. They burn up their brakes. That's where a lot of lockups can happen as well. Take a look here. We're about to come up to the long straightaway. This is the DRS zone for some of those Formula cars out there. And hard into it and through the corner, or through the S's there. It doesn't actually hit the corners, those curbs as hard as usual there. Mr. Evan Janik still up in first. Actually, funny enough, Isaac Therese, that driver we were just looking at there in that number 20, set the fastest time out here tonight. So your stage 1 winner and fastest car currently on track. We got less than 10 laps to go before stage number 2. I don't know why it says 13 of 40. Let me see if I can somehow change that. Let's see. How about that? Does that work? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now that that's displaying the correct thing, not too sure why it wasn't. Let's take a look back here. Travis Gilbert is sitting in the position that he started this race in. Started in third, he's in third in the number 3 car. But he is chasing down Isaac Therese pretty quickly, gaining a good amount of ground on him. Oh, good save by Hone. Wow. Just hot through that corner. Comes out quick, saves it, but I'm pretty sure those back tires probably kind of burned up there. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a bald spot. John Talley in the 5th position in that number 6 Ford Mustang. Absolutely hammering it down through these corners. These Mustangs handling exceptionally well out there today. And a brand that we really have not seen too much of today is the Toyotas. Your Toyota drivers out there, Jason J. Martin, Justin Cope, Jason Crumley. So all Toyota drivers start with a J. That makes it very, very easy. Only one of those Toyota drivers are currently on the lead lap, though, which being Jason J. Martin, currently sitting in 9th position, up 6 places since the start of the race. Haven't really seen much from those Toyotas. Can't say the same for in real NASCAR, unlike Tyler Reddick. I'm so upset that I started watching NASCAR again. I kid. John Talley, though, is definitely not kidding around here tonight, though, at Watkins Glen. He's down 1 position since the start of the race, but he's still sitting in 5th, which is exceptionally well. Jay Hone up 6 positions since the start of the race. He's sitting in 4th. More from your front runners here. There's Travis Gilbert. Getting some good runs there. See a lot of smoke coming out of there. I'm not too sure what happened there. Take a look at Jason Crumley. That's another one of those Toyotas that we talked about, and we've seen him multiple times today. Some of those front runners heading by, and the pressure's to the back bumper. He'll let them go, though. Coming down that longer straightaway, Isaac Therese going to be leading them down hard into the S's. You can see a little bit better from this camera angle. Just what I've been talking about with some of these elevation changes. Also looks like an incident has happened with Jay Hone. Let's take a look. Jay Hone, of course, being in that number 51. Actually, it happened before this. What? Okay. Let's back her up a little bit. Let's back her up. Oh, we had something go on. All right, take a look here. The curb got him, and he was not able to save it this time. Hard into the wall there. That scared me. That was very loud. Yeah, and he rides along that curb and everything there. And into the wall again. That's unfortunate. Hone has been running really, really good this entire race, so that's really unfortunate. We do see Isaac Therese, your new leader here. Janik, of course, having to go down and pit. Travis Gilbert right behind him in the number 3, and John Talley. That's not John. There he is. John Talley in the number 6 Ford Mustang. Taking a look out there for our other segment that I do like to pull up most of the time. Your biggest movers, Adam Probst, up 10 positions since the start of this race. Started in the 22nd, now he's 12th. So, other than that, not too many other big movers out there. You can count Jason J. Martin into that crew, up 6 positions, and Michael Loveless up 6 positions as well. He's currently sitting in 5th. See the Dente machine down there. Pollock, of course, if you remember from the beginning of the race, did not take very long for Pollock to hit the wall and unfortunately have a little bit of an incident, and that just affected that car since the start. His passenger side front was not turning when we looked at it, so a lot of damage to his car, and that's unfortunate because Alex Pollock, if you guys didn't know, or if you are new to watching the Black Diamond Racing League here on Fearless Broadcasting, he's the guy who puts this stuff on, so I'm sure he's not too happy about that, but it's racing, it happens. Kevin Croft, unfortunately, having an incident. That's one of our fearless drivers out there, also owner of Fitness 19, another sponsor of the Fearless Broadcasting Network. Oh, too much speed down that straightaway and into the wall. We'll see if he has any damage. You can see the rubber buildup already on these cars. Yeah, a little bit of damage there. So that's definitely unfortunate. There's Terrence Preston coming off of pit road in that number 33. We got a hard fight here. Here comes Gilbert to Treese. See those glowing red hot brakes through those S's. Only 9 cars so far on the lead lap. Isaac Therese, Travis Gilbert, John Talley, Rick Myers, Michael Loveland, Danny Jackson, Evan Janik, Jacob Shoffett, and Jason J. Martin. All drivers on the lead lap. Therese taking her a little bit wide there to the wall. We saw Gilbert head down pit lane. I don't remember when Therese went down pit lane, so definitely interesting. See him get a little bit loose because of that curb there, and almost hit the wall. He got real close. That's going to be a good picture. If you guys are in chat and you guys are in the Black Diamond Racing League, that will be a good photo opportunity. See Dallas Fridley back here in the number 34. Currently sitting in 12th. Unfortunately, a little bit of damage to the front of that car. There's John Talley. John Talley in the number 6 machine. Making his way. He's sitting in second. Rick Myers not too far behind him, though. Terrence Preston, not for position, though. But he is for a position for Cope. So these two will battle for 13th and 14th, and these two will battle for 3rd and 2nd. We're on lap 39, by the way. Now lap 40 of 65. Technically, that stage caution should come out any minute now. Probably next lap around, probably at the end of it. I always think that the caution will be thrown at the beginning of the 40th lap, but I don't think so. So, Isaac Therese dominated stage number 1. A smart play, a smart pit strategy, and an aggressive fast car all day. We've come to stage number 2. He was back there in second for a lot of it, but he waited him out. And now look at Therese. Looks like he might be stage 2's winner. Not too sure though, we can't call anything yet. Anything can happen in racing. He could crash. And then what? I'd look dumb. And there she is. Stage number 2 of tonight. The final stage, also, of this 65-lap race. Let's take a look at the race analysis for the night so far. 65 laps. The first stage was 20 laps. Stage 2 was also 20 laps. We'll have 25 laps to end out the night. And Therese taking home both stage wins. So far, Isaac Therese led it. This is our second caution. No cautions tonight for incidents. Of course, this being a road course, we haven't needed any. The lead has changed twice between Isaac Therese. And also, if I can find his name out there, Evan Janik. Take a look there at Evan Janik. In that number 60 machine, that yellow car right there. Leads changed between them. Travis Gilbert in the number 3 car, right behind Janik. Also set your fastest lap out there. Taking a look at his fastest lap. A 108.729. Congratulations out there to Isaac Therese on his stage 1 and 2 win. I wish I had a little graphic for you guys like NASCAR does where I could play, but I don't have anything. So in the meantime, we're going to cut to ad break yet again. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back when we go green flag racing, and also at the end of the stream, don't go anywhere. We're going to be interviewing the top 3 out here tonight. So if you guys are in the Discord, make sure to tell your friends. If they get into the top 3, please join the waiting room. That way I can make sure I talk to all of you. I like giving you all a fair chance. But with that, we're going to cut the ad break and we will be right back.
Real quick, people stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. The Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1, 2, 3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
We are about to go green in your iRacing Midget Association Chili Bowl Nationals Night Prelim number 3 is green flag.
Wide for your lead. Culver's now your leader. Cody right on the bottom.
Welcome back out here to the BDRL Cup Series at Watkins, Glen. If you're just tuning in, you are catching in here towards the end of stage number 2. We've been riding along here with Justin Cope, currently sitting in 12th in that number 59 Carhartt Chevrolet, or not Chevrolet, Camry, Toyota Camry. I actually really like that paint scheme. I'm a fan of Carhartt, so you already won me over there. But I do like that gold and the black on it. You also see Cabela's Bass Pro Shop on there. It's a really nice little slick scheme. I do like that. Travis Gilbert in that number 3 car. It's going to be right behind him. Travis Gilbert currently leads this race. He is registered in first. Evan Janik right behind him in that yellow Ford Mustang. He's in second, so he's going to be the one to run from. And Therese absolutely dominating out here tonight, taking home stage 1, taking home stage 2. So I wouldn't be surprised how this goes. We see Cope going to get his lap back. He's got a while to get around this little track here, so we'll get him all caught back up. That's going to put Travis Gilbert, your leader, in the lead position. Janik right behind him. Isaac Therese back there in third. And John Talley, that number 6 Ford Mustang, has been slowly making his way up through the field. Currently sitting in fourth. Rick Myers also there in the number 1 Ford Mustang. And Michael Loveless in a Chevrolet, number 68. He's back here in 6th, up 5 positions, and his teammate, Jacob Schoffet, in the 00. They've been working together all night. Those two guys right there, both fearless teammates. I asked Jacob if he wanted me to make him a paint job before the race, but Jacob does not like my paints, so shame to you. I'm kidding. See Terrence Preston back here in the number 33 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Number 2 of Keith Pittman also sitting back here in 14th. We're going to head through the S's here and get lined up double file very soon. Some of these guys don't want to go double file through the corners. That's understandable. Of course, big heavy cars is like driving pontoons down Broadway, so I wouldn't even want to imagine what that would be like. Janik's been doing good all day. If we take a look at his position out there, he's currently 2nd, and we take a look at how many laps he's led, 19. Travis Gilbert, of course, only leading 2 so far, and Isaac Therese leading the most out here, 23. We're going to see who wins it in the 25-lap shootout here tonight. 5 extra. Oh my goodness, I messed that up bad. Please don't listen to that. Don't clip that. Either way, these guys have been fighting hard. It's going to be about the same amount of laps as these stages, just 5 extra laps. Here we go, though, everybody at home. The pace car's out. And boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Gilbert absolutely flies down that shorter straightaway in the turn number 1. He blinks. Oh, no. Gilbert having a lot of internet issues there. That's going to put Evan Janik up front. I don't actually see Gilbert coming back onto the thing. I think Gilbert's got... Oh, nope, there's Gilbert. Gilbert's still up front, but Janik not too far behind him, of course. Oh, there's a big wreck! No! That's the 20! That's the 20 that's been going all day. We also see Keith Pittman in it. That's Isaac Therese there in the number 20. He got put into it. Oh, no! There's Crumley in the number 83 Toyota. We've seen him have problems all day here today. Unfortunately, having some more there with some of those guys. Everything's going to stay green, though. And if things can calm down for a second, let's just take a look and see what actually happened there. Let's go in slow-mo here and get the closest camera view that we can. A little bit into the wall there, coming around that corner. And that's going to put him off center there, of course, hitting that curb. And around goes Therese. Oh, my goodness. And that's not even the worst of it, because guess what? He's on that grass. He's getting that car up in the air. Not a lot of contact room to slow down. And boom, right in the Pittman hard. Also clips Jackson. Jackson flies down the track, up on 2 wheels almost. Preston has to go through the grass there to avoid that. That was a lot happening there very, very quickly. We also saw that Crumley had a little bit of an incident. Let's see what happened there. Through the S's, and just did not get the weight right. Drumhiller accidentally hits the back there, nowhere to go. So just unfortunate for all those drivers there. Now, if nothing happened, see the rocks getting kicked up there. Gilbert still leads this race. Janik right on his heels. There's Rick Myers in 3rd. Michael Lovelace in 4th, and Jacob Schoffet in 5th. Of course, there's Alex Bullock still down in pit lane. And there's Danny Jackson in that number 18 machine. You see a little bit of front end damage to the car there. Coming up right behind him is the number 33 Goodwrench Services. That's Terrence Preston. Dallas Fridley also for position right behind, not right behind him. That's Jason J. Martin. A lead lap car in 7th. John Talley brings it down to pits. So look back up front. Janik was able to make the pass on Gilbert, putting him out in the lead now. And of course, with Therese out, that was your other hard charging car in this field. So now, the winner of this race is really up to anybody. You see the 60 taking it wide out there, hitting that curb hard. That's going to give Gilbert a chance to get right back up there alongside of him. He takes it shallow through that corner. There's Gilbert attacking on the bottom. They're going to go too wide down the front straightaway. Who's going to brake first? They both go through the turn 1. Janik runs it wide, almost hitting the wall. That's going to give him a good amount of speed there going into the long straightaway after these couple of corners here. After that long straightaway, it's the S's. Here he comes. Gilbert back to the lead, of course. And here comes Rick Myers and Michael Lovelace, his teammate Jacob Schoffett, just behind him there. These three cars working their way up there to those two front leaders. Of course, we have no more stages to go here tonight. Lap 48 of 65. 18 laps to go. See Lovelace and Schoffett back there getting a little wide. Using up all that racetrack that they can. See the 60 also using up that racetrack. Gets that lead back. And it looks like the same situation is lining up again. Gilbert pushes Janik close to that wall. Janik gets out in front, puts that bumper right in front of him, makes that car wide. Gilbert shoots hard into the inside. Who brakes first, though? There's Janik using up all that tracking. Gilbert to follow. Janik back out front. Janik out there in that number 60 yellow and white Ford Mustang. Will lead around. 3 Mustangs in the top 3, followed by 2 Chevys. That makes out your top 5. Danny Jackson also in a Ford Mustang, back here in 6th position. Let's just give a little check-in on him. We'll also take a look at Jason J. Martin. Yeah, that's it, folks. Your top 7 on the lead lap. Justin Cope will lead the non-lead lap drivers around, currently sitting in 8th. And Janik's been pulling a little bit. Take a look at the telemetry just a little bit here, along with his fastest lap and his position currently so far as they come down that front straightaway there. Take a look at the speeds that he's able to get. 165. Janik's not a stranger to the front. He's been out here before. And he's putting more work in up front. 15 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Lovelace and Schoffett are still working their way up here. It's going to be interesting to see what they got in the tank for this final time around. Now, if you remember, these guys... Oh, Myers is a little bit loose going through the S's. It's going to give Lovelace and Schoffett ample time to start catching up to him. As I was saying, if you guys remember at the beginning of the stream, I talked about these drivers had to worry about that fuel just a little bit. Well, the time is coming up. These guys are going to have to worry about fuel. Of course, with these stages being 5 laps shorter, or 5 laps longer than normal than this race, it's going to be a little bit interesting. There's Dallas Fridley in that number 34. He had a little incident. We're taking a look back at it. It looks like just a little bit of an incident there with that weight transfer in those curbs. We've seen it 100 times here tonight. Unfortunately, the stock cars on road courses just prove to be very, very difficult. See, Myers, of course, had that little incident coming out of the S's previous lap, and Lovelace was able to gain ground. Not pass him, but gain some ground. See your couple of front runners here. Gilbert catching up to Janik, actually. Janik still leads this race, though. Taking a look out there, unfortunately, Isaac's not out on track anymore, but Brandon Sanders, we've seen your message, and I've just been trying to find time to include it in there. But Brandon Sanders said let's go Isaac. Unfortunately, Isaac did not have such a great ending to this race. Had an amazing first couple of stages though. Also taking a look out there in chat, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Pollock. He made it 4 turns tonight and doubled down and shifted the first, and he killed the wall. That is very unfortunate. We also see that Evan Janik also having a little bit of internet connection issues out there. He's going to start blinking like Gilbert was. Hopefully that won't affect him too much. That Vet2Track Ford Mustang coming up quick in Janik's rear view. But look who's coming. Shopping is caught up to Loveless there. And they're slowly catching up to Myers. Looks like they may have lost a little bit of ground, to be honest. But a lot of guys having a lot of unfortunate incidents happening to them. I don't think more unfortunate than Mr. Alex's incident. Again, if you guys had seen the beginning of the live stream, unfortunately, Mr. Alex Pollock had a rough couple of first turns. Let's put it that way, in nice layman's terms. Your top 7 here, though, are the only ones on the lead lap as we start winding it down here tonight. It's been a fun one. I love road course racing. If you guys didn't know, I've always had a thing for road course racing, especially when it comes to the NASCARs. I know I like to think of myself being better on the ovals. That doesn't really seem to be the case. Road courses seem to be a good thing for me. And you can just see even more what we've been talking about here through this entire live stream as we wind down the laps there. Janik almost losing it there, getting a little bit loose. But also I want to talk about Janik. If you notice there off that corner, Janik, his car bottomed out on that curb there. These cars bottom out on these curbs. They're so low. That'll really, really get him loose there. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw it. Look at that. That is Justin Cope down pit lane with a smoking engine. Let's see if we can see what happened. Through the S's, and oh my golly. Yeah, that's a hard hit, and it kind of, look at that. Look at that tire. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Alex Pollock's car. That's got to be a bad one, and an unfortunate one there for Justin Cope. I love that paint scheme. I actually really, really liked that paint scheme, so I'm really upset to actually see that destroyed. You see Janik there absolutely bottoming it out over that curb. If you put that car directly over that curb, it's going to bottom out. And it's not going to be pretty. You're going to lose grip. You're going to get loose. It's really going to throw that car for a loop. Not so much for Janik, though. He's been able to keep this car on track all night. Not any damage on that thing that I can see. Just that rubber buildup, of course. And he has absolutely been flying down these laps. We have 10 laps to go, and Gilbert is hot on his tail. And they're coming up on Jason Crumley out there in the number 83 Toyota Camry. Jason Crumley currently sitting in 17th. That's 4 positions better than where he started. And here they come, rocking in by. Janik's got to hope that Crumley can give a little bit of help to him in hopes to block off Mr. Gilbert. They'll go side by side out of one of the final corners there, second to last corner. And didn't really stall Gilbert too much. We see Gilbert still hot on Janik's trail. Are you guys surprised that I've been able to talk for this much for as long? I am. Adam Probst had a little bit of an accident. Not too sure how long ago this was, but that 88, oh, hard through the S's and around he goes. Bye-bye, Junior. No, he was able to keep it off the wall and back out onto the track. So congratulations, actually, to Adam Probst. I commend that. You hear these guys downshifting through some of those corners. That's the way these guys have been able to do it, using that engine braking to help them slow down. Now, of course, if you downshift too bad, Alex will tell you, you'll blow an engine. Or you'll spin up those rear tires and into a wall you'll go. Here's John Talley. We talked about him a few times. He was a hard runner here all night. Not too sure what happened to him, though. He's currently sitting back in 14th position, down 10 laps since the start of this race. Pretty unfortunate for him. Jay Hone is the guy for him to beat. We see some guys coming down pit lane there. There's Travis Gilbert and Evan Janik fighting and fighting for it still. Danny Jackson down the pits. Rick Myers down the pits. Danny Jackson goes down a lap. Your top 6 now on the lead lap. Look at this. Things are going to start ramping up here as those laps get shorter and shorter. There goes Gilbert, blinking again. Somebody buy him a an Ethernet cable. You guys really chip in and buy Ethernet cables. We also see Evan Janik up there, running a little bit wide there. That's going to allow Gilbert to get right there to that back bumper. Look, and we've seen this before. It's the setup. Gilbert down pit lane. I was wondering where he went. It was like a Houdini trick. I didn't see him for 1 second. But that'll put Travis Gilbert down in the pits. Evan Janik still yet the pit. Rick Myers. That's not Rick Myers. That's John Talley. Rick Myers, there he is in that number 1 Gravedigger monster truck Ford. He's sitting in 3rd. He's coming up slowly. There's Travis Gilbert getting some tires, some fuel. Rick Myers might be able to get by him. Your top 3. I'm so happy to say this. Your top 3, all Fords. Followed by a Toyota. Jason J. Martin down into the pits. And Michael Loveless and Jacob Shoffett. Your only Chevrolets on the lead lap. Team Fearless has been putting in that work here tonight. Take a look at Loveless and Shoffett. They've been working together all night. Every time we have looked at these guys, they have been right next to each other. And that really hasn't changed this entire race. They're currently sitting in P4 and P5. There's John Talley slowly making his way up through the field. Janik still absolutely ripping it around here. We thought it was going to be Eric in the number 20 Chevrolet who won this race. Unfortunately, he had some incidents. Unfortunately, he's not going to finish this race, it doesn't look like it. I think it was a DNF. Yeah, DNF. Finished 17th. That means your top 5. Your top 5 are the only cars on the lead lap. We might actually talk to the top 5 instead of the top 3 tonight, considering they're fearless guys. We'll have to see how they're acting over there. If they aren't behaving over there, we're not gonna go talk to them. But if they behave, we'll go talk to them. Lap 60 is 65. Only 6 laps to go. John Talley making his way around. He's only got to really worry about Jay Hone. You see Kevin Croft out here. He's in 18th position. Of course, being 17 laps down, but he's still getting in those laps. Danny Jackson is sitting in 6th position in the number 18 Ford Mustang, and right behind him, Jay Hone. Hone was also one of those cars that we saw was a very, very hard fighter here today. He just had those incidents and was never able to get back up there into position. Travis Gilbert in that number 3, we did see him closing in on Evan before he had to come down pit lane. And here we go. Janik brings it down pit road, and he has got to be fast. We have an incident, though. Michael Loveless has an incident. Shoffett's not around him. And, oh no, he falls victim to the weight transfer over the curb. Thankfully, he did not get hit. But unfortunately, that put Michael Loveless back a little bit. Evan Janik finally gets to his pit there. And I'm kind of scared for him. He just takes fuel. No tires. He gets back out there. Here comes Travis Gilbert down that straightaway. Is Janik going to be able to beat him out? Janik does. Janik still holds on to this lead. Right in front of him is Terrence Preston. He'll have to get past that lap traffic coming down into the S's. He'll get by. Right behind them, the nationwide Adam Probst, Jason Crumley. And there's Travis Gilbert. Travis Gilbert is now in hunting mode. Is he going to have enough time to get back up there with only 5 laps to go? We'll have to watch. With Evan Janik going back down pit lane, though. Danny Jackson was able to come back onto the lead lap, meaning 6 cars are on the lead lap. Janik, Terrence Preston, Travis Gilbert. There's Crumley and Probst. And Drumhiller. It's been an exciting race all night. And if you guys are interested in joining into the BDRL League on Discord, make sure, of course, to join the Discord. Croft a little bit slow, going through those S's. He got a little bit loose. That slowed him up. Either way, if you guys are interested in joining the BDRL League, there are some limitations. You must possess an A or B oval license, a minimum of 1,000 iRating, and a maximum of 4,000 iRating. If you guys fit that bill, though, you guys are more than welcome to come in to the BDRL League here on Discord. Join in, get signed up, come have fun with us. 3 laps to go. Evan Janik has been having an absolute blast all night. He's led a lot of these laps here tonight. Didn't win either of the stages, unfortunately, but take a look. He's been out here in first and has led 34 laps of this race. And here at the end, he's gone really uncontested, aside from... Oh no, Croft! Too fast for the S's. Gotta be careful going through that grass with that low car. Ah, no. It's always unfortunate watching some of our teammates have incidents, so. And I just see something. Jacob Shoffett has an incident. Oh, no. Let's see what happens to Shoffett. We're coming down that short front straightaway here. And that weight transfer there and that little dip. We've seen it plenty of times here tonight. Exact spins in that location. Thankfully, he'll get it back on track and keep going. He kept it off the wall. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our main man, Ethan Farless, who usually races in these leagues. He usually races here in the Black Diamond Racing League. He's not out here tonight, and I think it's because he was afraid of the road course. So if you guys see Ethan Farless, tell him he's afraid of Watkins Glen. Don't tell him I said to do that, though, or I'm going to get yelled at. And I would really like to not get yelled at, and I'm sure you guys would like me not to get yelled at, too. Kevin Croft had a little bit of an accident again, went off track, and came back on track. Let's see what happened. Oh, he actually had a crash. Oh! Oh, no! And that's right in front of the Good Wrench 33. 33 of Terrence Preston there. Oh, man. Unfortunate for him. White flag in the air, though. We're on lap 65 of 65. Final lap to go. So, this entire race, Isaac Therese in the number 20 Chevrolet led a lot of laps here. He started on the pole. Won stage 1 and stage 2. Coming into this final stage here, not even stage, into the final moments of the race, he had an accident. Unfortunately, crashed that car. And that gave Evan Janik the strength that he needed to get up there. He fought hard alongside Travis Gilbert. Unfortunately, Travis Gilbert not able to make it back up there. You see Travis Gilbert back there a little bit. But here comes Janik through the final corner at the Glen. 65 laps. And your winner, Evan Janik, wins it. Travis Gilbert will take home 3rd position. And Rick Myers. Oh, come on, Rick. Bring her home. Bring her home, Rick. I'm pretty sure we can call it here now, though, folks. Rick Myers will take home 3rd position. Michael Loveless taking home, oh my goodness. Michael Loveless will take home 4th, and Schaffet 5th. So congratulations out there to Mr. Janik. Congratulations to Travis Gilbert. You guys fought hard those last couple of laps. I have to appreciate that. An unfortunate night for Isaac Therese. Just unfortunate what happened to him. Of course, having that incident after getting the pole and winning both stages, that's got to be a hard one to deal with. We'll give the time here for the drivers to come down into the waiting room. Remember, top 3, I need to see you in the waiting room. But while we do that and wait for those drivers, we'll watch Evan Janik, because I think he might have a little surprise for us, a little winning celebration here. He just has to make his cool down lap around the Glen. A lot of hard, fun racing out there tonight. You see Gilbert right behind him. And there we go. Janik hits the gas just a little bit there, and he'll burn it down. Not a lot of smoke coming off of that thing. Ah, there's dirt and gravel there. You're gonna blow that engine up, but I'm all here for it. I wish there was more smoke. I don't know where the smoke is. But congratulations there to Evan. I just muted the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. I just noticed that. As I was saying, don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to go track down your top 3 drivers. Welcome back, everybody, to the Black Diamond Racing League here at Watkins, Glen. I was able to track down your top three. We're going to meet with Evan Janik first, your first place finisher here tonight. Evan, tell us, it was looking a little scary there with Isaac Therese up in front for a little bit. Of course, he won that stage 1 and stage 2. Tell us, how'd you feel when you got past him and you saw that Travis Gilbert had fallen off a little bit, and towards the end there, you were really just cooking it out front there?
Yeah, it was weird because we both aren't running for points, so we really didn't care about stages. I was just trying to do the fuel numbers in my head and try to get myself out front for the last stage. That's really all that mattered. But he and I thought were pretty evenly matched. He was able to squeeze out a couple tenths on me in qualifying, which I'm a little bummed about, but felt like I was able to keep it on the road a little better. And well, I don't know what happened, but I know that he ended up spinning and taking himself out, which was unfortunate because it would have been a fun race. But yeah, after that, Travis and I were in a chat because we're teammates in another league, and knew that he had a little different fuel agenda, so I figured he was going to take some tires, which would slow his stop up, so I just ran it as long as I could to make my stop as short as possible. If I had to do a full fuel run, I think he would have got me with the fresh tires, but just had enough to hold him off.
It looked like a lot of those drivers had a little bit of issues out there with some of that curbing here, and of course the elevation changes that Watkins Glen is known for. Tell us, how did your car feel during this whole run? Was your car set up real good, or did you have to fight it a little bit like some of these other drivers?
Yeah, in our league race Tuesday, which is a fixed league, so whatever iRacing has, if we straddled those curbs off of 6, between 6 and 7, and off of turn 1, you would get high-sided and ground out, and the wheels weren't touching the ground, you'd spin out. So the setup took a little bit getting used to because it was a little looser, but you could also yaw it out a lot more than the fixed setup. But I thought that the ride heights were a little higher, so I felt it bottom out a little bit, but it didn't take the wheel out from my hand, so it was a lot more comfortable for me, at least. I can't say for anybody else.
I know a lot of people might not like road courses in NASCAR. We hear it all the time. Oh, a road course. Oh, it's COTA. Oh, it's Watkins Glen. Oh, this, all that. How did you feel here at tonight's road course? Did you like it, or did you wish it was an oval?
I have to like it because it's my home track. I live in New York, so it's the one that I go to every year. Undecided if I'm going to make the trip up this weekend or not, but
got to.
Yeah, it's a home track. You got to do as many laps at it as you can and just make sure that you perform your best.
Understandable. Hey, with the first place here tonight, what's the confidence level looking like going in the next week?
I think that this schedule and the schedule for our other league Tuesdays mirrors each other, so I think it's Dover. I feel okay at Dover. I don't think it's going to be an all-star race for us. I think it's going to be a normal race, so I usually do pretty well there, but we got a lot of new people, and if I end up running a race Thursday next week, I'm going to have to learn the setup because I really only run fixed stuff, so setups and having to make adjustments in the pit stops, that's a learning curve for me.
Well, hey, awesome work here tonight, getting first place. Hope to see you again next week and see you do just as good. Before we let you go, though, anybody you got to give a shout out to?
Thanks to Alex Pollock and Black Diamond Designs. He's really the big reason why I was here tonight, because he does a lot for us and makes all my paints and has helped me design my car in real life that I'm running. So I like to run with him every chance I can.
Well, awesome job here, Evan. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, that was Evan Janik, your first place finisher here tonight. Congratulations to him. Up next, we're going to talk to second place, Travis Gilbert. Hey, we heard from Mr. Evan there. You guys were talking to each other there during those last few laps. Tell us, how did those last few laps go for you? We saw you fall off just a little bit there at the end. You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, Lucas, I had to get off strategy. I jumped the turtles getting into the bus stop, trying to straighten up my exit and everything, just trying to get through there a little bit better, and I ended up jumping the turtles and it put me into the inside fence there. And under stage 2, I had to come down, or at the end of stage 1, I had to come down and get damage repaired, which was a minute 40. So I had to come all the way around, catch the field, so I was short on fuel, so I just said, screw it, I'm going to pit with 2 to go in the stage, and then I knew everybody had to pit with one more pit stop in the final stage, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to stay out and get the lead, and I'll be good. Well, I was fast, but the right-handers didn't like me tonight. Like every time I got the lead, I'd get into the right-hander, and it's just like it just slipped on me. So luckily, we were able to catch it a couple times. I caught it, was able to get Evan back, and then end up slipping again. And when we pitted there on that last final, obviously I was right there within striking distance, but I took 2 left side tires and I took too much fuel. So, and then coming off pit road, I about spun out 3 different times. So this racetrack just did not like me tonight. So I'll take a third, a seventh, and a second and go away with the points lead and go into Dover.
I was about to say, despite the little issues that you had here tonight, you ran extremely, extremely hard and aggressive here tonight. Tell us, how did that setup fare compared to some of these other drivers? Do you think that setup is what your saving grace was, or do you think it was all the driver?
No, the driver totally screwed the race car up. Like if there was a really good race car driver like Ray, if Ray didn't show up, Ray Lane, otherwise I think he wins the race with the same setup, same out of American Outlaw Racing. So in practice he was always about a half second faster than me. We put down the fastest lap in the race, but it doesn't matter if you can't keep it on the track and you're making too many mistakes. So I would say the setup with American Outlaw Racing with the number 3 Vet to Track Ford Mustang was really, really good. The driver just didn't execute it. The car setup was an A+ setup. The driver was about a C- today.
Well, despite you giving yourself so much crap, you still finished second here, so I gotta ask, what's the confidence level looking like going in the next week?
I love Dover, Lucas. Like, if you come and you start to see, like, the ovals are obviously the strong suit for me. Ray's really put in a lot of work at the road courses, so he's really helped the American Outlaw Racing program come along with the road courses. So, but it's still like I was still about a half second off of him when we were practicing. Good enough. Like Evan's a really good road course racer. Raced with him on Tuesday. My teammate over there at the Black Diamond Motorsports, and like he put on a good show. I messed up too many times. You would think all the laps that I put in today that I would have been good, wouldn't make these mistakes, but they're little ones. Like, you jump the turtles and then catch too much of the curbing, or you just a little bit of braking, or catch a lap car at the wrong time. So it was eventful. I'll be grateful to walk away with Watkins Glen and get a top 3 finish, a second place finish for the American Outlaw Racing team on the Fearless broadcast. So it was just, the car was so much better than the driver today.
Well, awesome work here tonight, Travis. Before we let you go, is there anybody you got to give a shout out to?
Yeah, sorry to Ray Lane. He missed tonight's race. Looking forward to him. I thought he had a good chance. He's always competitive, really fast. My mom, she's always watching. I appreciate you. I love you, Mom. I know Mother's Day is coming up. To all the drivers, moms still alive and moms that are gone, we're thinking about you. And it's a good weekend to go and celebrate your family and your mom and give her all the love and joy you can, because they work so hard for us and do so much. So my nephew Branson, Lucas, my niece, my sister Macy, my brother-in-law Trent, my friends Terry and Tweet, and just Black Diamond Motorsports for the really fast paint schemes. I really appreciate Alex, everything he does for the league at Black Diamond Racing, and you guys for coming over. I know you guys are with Ethan with the with the Fearless Motorsports and the Fearless Broadcasting. So can't really thank you guys enough. Even though we didn't get to go to Vet to Track Victory Lane, we thank Vet to Track for sponsoring Victory Lane, and Evan got to go celebrate for the Vet to Track Victory Lane celebration. So just really appreciative of everybody. You guys all have a good Mother's Day weekend, and we look forward to showing up at Dover and maybe putting the Vet to Track number 3 Dark Horse Ford Mustang in Victory Lane for you guys.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Travis. Hey, congratulations here on the second place victory tonight. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Lucas. You have a good week, and happy Mother's Day to you and your family.
You too. Thank you, and to your family too.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty, that was Travis Gilbert, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's wrap it up. Last but not least, your third place finisher here tonight, Rick Myers. Top 3 in Fords. The Fords did really, really good here tonight, which I'm very, very excited to hear. Richard, how did that car feel for you around Watkins today?
It's a miracle I finished third, to be honest. I definitely did not feel like I had the pace, but was able to keep the car fairly clean and just, was able to capitalize on other people's mistakes. And, sometimes the key to road courses is just keeping the car clean.
Would you say that a lot of the drivers here in this league have a lot of experience at the road courses? Looking at it today, it seemed like a lot of guys did very, very good, but we saw a few incidents that seemed very, very common. Of course, the curbing, the elevation changes, it being Watkins. What do you think?
I feel like it's pretty common. A lot of the oval guys just don't like the road courses, so, they try and just kind of survive and just get through the week. I usually try and take it as, I'll put more work in and then try and jump ahead of those guys. I try and, capitalize on all the tracks that a lot of guys don't like. So, sometimes it just works out that way.
Understandable. With you being in third place at the finish of this, we know we didn't see you running up there a whole lot towards the front until really there at the end. Tell us, what gave you the success to get up there towards the end?
Really just other people's mistakes. I think I was 5th or 6th on the restart, and the 20 car spun out right in front of me on the restart and was able to avoid that. And then poor John, who was having a clean race, spun himself into the wall. And basically I was able to, avoid them and, stay out of the wrecks, and was able to just have enough pace to keep ahead of everyone behind me.
Understandable. Hey, before we let you go here tonight, I got 2 questions to ask you. One, what's that confidence level looking like going into next week?
It's pretty good right now, capitalizing and getting a good points day on tracks you're not expecting it. It's huge when you're going to tracks that you're, expecting to be faster at. So, I'm definitely ready to get back to the ovals.
And for my second question, is there anybody you got to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I gotta give a shout out to the Putzing Around boys, especially John. He's the only one who was able to show up this week. Poor David had appendicitis, so he had to miss this week. Hopefully he'll be back for next week. And gotta thank Ryka Motorsports for another great setup.
Awesome job here tonight, Richard. Hey, we'll catch you next week. Good job tonight.
Yep, thank you guys.
That was Richard Myers, third place finisher here tonight at the Glen. Hey, that seems to be it for everybody. I thought we might be able to talk to a couple more of our other drivers out there. Unfortunately, doesn't seem like they're there. So, with that, we'll go through your top 5 yet again. Janik led this race around here towards the end, brought it home in first. Gilbert brought it home in second, and Myers in third. Michael Loveless in fourth, and Jacob Schaffet in fifth. Unfortunately, we did see Isaac Therese. He led a lot of laps out here tonight. He finished in 17th with a DNF. And unfortunately, just that incident there off the start, taking away that night for him. So, with that, everybody, I will see you guys Monday for the Project Valor Championship League. But if you guys only want to watch a Black Diamond Racing League, I'll catch you guys next Tuesday when we go to Dover, and we'll see who wins that one. So with that, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Juicy Spider Graphics and Designs, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Puffy's Swag Shop, and of course Fitness 19. Of course, thank you guys for supporting us. We wouldn't be where we are without you, and of course all you wonderful viewers at home. Again, like I always leave off on these streams, I hope you guys have an amazing night, rest of your night. I hope you guys have a good time if you guys are going to Watkins, Glen, or if you guys are watching the Cup race this weekend. And I will see you guys later. See y'all, folks.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. The Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
We are about to go green in your iRacing Midget Association Chili Bowl Nationals night prelim number 3 is green flag.
Wide for your lead. Culver's now your leader. Cody,